Hi everyone, welcome to Chao Time, episode number 2. So I see everybody like my first episode, number 1. If you haven't checked out Chao Time episode number 1, click the link right here and you will see how amazing they are for all those people. They actually come out and share their life stories. And since then, I actually received a really nice message from my friend, and I want to read those to you. And I want to share this message to every one of you. If it is you out there, and if you want to share your life story, feel free to drop a comment below, and let's go. Come on to Chao Time. It's time to share your story. And here is what she said. What a great way to showcase the lives of people and their experiences. Everyone has a story to tell. I'm glad you give them a platform to tell it. So this is a platform I want to create it for each one of you out there. And I firmly believe everyone has a story, an amazing story. Even you think your life is boring, your life is hard, sometimes life is difficult. I firmly believe your difficulties actually can inspire other people. So if you want to join Chao Time, drop a comment below or send me a message. We will get on the schedule. Without further ado, let's start it. Chao Time, episode number 2.
Like a merry-go-round, my head is spinning. I see you rapping about, I'm sure as hell not.
No regrets.
Oh man, that's a tough one. There's probably a lot of moments I would want to go back. I think, sometimes I think I would want to go back and wish I was more patient with people, and be more understanding of who people are and accept them more for who they are. Sometimes we tend to struggle when people aren't who we expect them to be. But I think if I would go back, I would just kind of be more accepting of people, good and bad. And I think that's what kind of I would go back into more.
There is. One of my friends lost her father when she was in her 30s, and I didn't have the words to really express my condolences, and I really felt uncomfortable because I didn't know how to console her. And since then, I've lost both my parents, and I realize it doesn't matter what words you have, you just have to be there. You just have to show up. Mm-hmm. And you can just say, look, I don't really have the words right now, but I just want you to know I care about you and I love you and I'm here for you. And so I think now that I've been through that myself, I think advice that I give to anyone in their 30s, this is a time where unfortunately you might lose your parents, your friends might lose your parents. Even if you don't have the right words, just be there for them and just show up. Write a condolence note, go to the funeral if you can, and you don't have to have the perfect thing to say, you just have to be there.
So I would imagine back then you were just be there, but you don't know what to do.
I was uncomfortable, I wasn't prepared, I didn't know what to say or what to do, and I think that's common sometimes when you haven't dealt with grief before. Now that I've dealt with it, unfortunately, I feel like I know the right words. At the time, I didn't know. I wish I could go back and redo that.
No, I feel like I always do my best, and I always know what I want to do, and I always put myself out there.
Nothing?
No.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because I'm very strong in my mind. When I make a decision, I stick with it. I know that, I trust myself, right? And I think a lot of young people get stuck because they don't trust themselves and they don't feel secure in their decisions. So that would be one thing that I would suggest strongly that young folks do. Trust yourself, be true to yourself, and don't be afraid.
I used to be very shy. I was very timid. I didn't really, I felt very uncomfortable to speak, like in front of
You did
camera.
good right now.
Like in front of camera, or if I need to voice my opinions in a meeting, and my heartbeat will be really fast, and I feel like tense and tight. But now I feel like, what's the big deal?
So what changed?
I was just working on my self-confidence, because I believe that if I trust myself and I embrace who I am, my strengths, my weaknesses, and think I'm 100% worthy. Before, I always thought I was not enough. Like I keep learning and doing things because I felt maybe I was not as good as others, or my English was not as good as others, like English speakers. But now I feel like, okay, I'm good enough to provide values to the world. I don't want to hold myself back. I can do whatever I want to, and I want to continue contribute values to the world.
Can you say now you're actually starting to accept who you are,
Yes.
instead comparing yourself with other people?
Yeah. Before I felt maybe I was inadequate. Even I had master's degree plus 60 credits or whatever, and I'm a national board certified educator, and I don't know where that came from, but I'm glad I realized that I had that. So now I keep working on it, and I feel I have more confidence than ever.
Still working on getting more self-confidence and trying to do things.
So, like, would you say for people actually lack of self-confidence, would you say to them?
Don't imitate me. I'm a slow learner.
Okay. So you're still learning, trying to work on your self-confidence.
Yes, it's still a work in progress.
What's holding me back right now? I'd say the only thing that's holding me back is the fact that I've moved so many times in my life that I'm finally in a city that I love, in a home that I love, around friends that I cherish. And so I think right now I really enjoy where I live. So, the only thing that I'm hesitant about is maybe moving to a new city again. But certainly that wouldn't stop me if the opportunity arose and it was the right situation. I would certainly do that.
Like you just talked about, you find the city you love, right?
Yes.
So now there's a potential opportunity for you to move to a new city. Why do you think you will make that move?
I would certainly make the move if there was the right career move, if it was the right one for me and my boyfriend, if the city was one that was cosmopolitan and it had the right opportunities in terms of social opportunities, things like that, had the right mindset for me to live in. I don't think I could live in a smaller town where there's not a lot to do, there's not a lot to challenge me intellectually, then it wouldn't be the right thing for me.
So you're always up for adventure.
Yes.
For next adventure.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh man, myself.
Are we all? Right?
God, if I could just get through myself, and that would be so much better. I think what's holding me back is like I really think just trying to be okay with who I am, and accepting that is something that's a constant struggle. But I wish that's something I try to work on. So sometimes we try to think about who we should be versus who we are, and I think, like I said, there's a conflict there. So I think if I could just go back, if I could just tell myself, just be you, and who you are is good enough, no matter the flaws or anything. Yeah, I think that would be it.
No. Because
Why?
everything turned out okay in the end. Or is this the end? No, it's not the end. Anyway, everything turned out fine. I like the way things are now.
Yeah, I think sometimes you go back and say, man, if I just changed these 1-2 things, my life would be different. But then you wouldn't be who you are at the moment. So I think, I wouldn't change anything, and I've been through a lot of hardship and heartache and a lot of things that, be emotionally stressful or taxing, but they make me who I am now. I'm a stronger person from it. So I wouldn't really change anything. I think I would maybe go back and tell myself that it'll be okay. Just like take one day at a time, it'll be okay. Sometimes you kind of try to think too much in the forward looking or in the future, and you don't really appreciate that moment that you're in at, at that present time. So I think I would tell myself that more, but I wouldn't change anything. And a lot of things didn't work out for me, in my 30s, but I wouldn't change anything about it.
Professionally, no, but personally, I wish that I had spent more time with my mom in my 30s and my 40s. But I was focused on my work, my own life. So that would be the only thing at this point in my life that I would say I'm sorry for, and wish that I had done a little differently.
I'm sure mom will be proud of you today too.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't. I think even the times that were tough, even the decisions I made that maybe weren't the best at the time, that I've learned from all of them. I chose to move to a city that probably, this wasn't the Japan move, it was a different move. I moved to a city that I didn't enjoy so much, but it still really marked me and made me who I am. It made me tougher, it made me more resilient. So even the decisions that probably weren't the ones that I loved in the moment made me who I am.
Not really. Maybe because my first marriage didn't work out. I would be more careful, like who I want to be married to. I guess that was the only thing.
What a great episode. And in this episode, people shared their life experience about their past. I want you to ask yourself the same question I asked them. Is any moment in your 30s you want to go back to say, I'm sorry? Anything in your life holds you back? And one last question, would you change anything in your past? So if you like the questions or you want to share your answers, feel free to drop your comments below and let the world know what amazing life you had. All right, it's time for us to say goodbye, and I will see you next time.
Just in my 30s, just say, just hang in there. It gets better.